maybe Top Esports are wanting to pick that away on their first pick choice here and take away. So Orianna and Ryze available right now. This is a very strange start to the draft for me, Gordo. They're kind of banning everything around and leaving open these premier picks. They're all open.
Yeah, you know, I might even add the Azir to that list. People really bumping up the Azir in their evaluations after the last round of buffs. But Tien, on his return to the LPL, going to lead it off with the Pantheon, selected first for Top Esports. And, I mean, IG have their pick of the litter now, right? There's so many strong mid laners. There's still strong junglers. There's the Rumble. They might just snap it up right here.
It could be Rumble Wukong. You could leave the Wukong to 3 and go Orianna Wukong. Rumble Orianna Wukong's probably pretty good. For Top Esports, though, if you get the Ryze, you've got the double global. That could be really scary. You could go Rumble Nocturne to match some of that global pressure, but I think this is a massive statement. The Top Esports are saying, we don't actually care about Rumble or Orianna. We think Pantheon is the best jungler on the patch after this Jarvan and Xin Zhao are gone. So we're going to ban 2 junglers away and then pick the Pantheon. The Galio, I mean, it's a decent matchup into Orianna once you get some items online. Hard early game, but the double global, you're going to need some damage elsewhere, but we are going for the double global without the Ryze.
Yeah, I mean, you got to expect that this is... Oh, never mind. It is going to be the Azir. I promised you a Creme Azir before we went live, JBetto. If only
Did
I'd
you know
said
it was going to be
on
game
stream
1?
and I could claim some credit for it. But, I mean, this was Creme's most played last split, right? He had 10 Azir games. I don't think this is too shocking. This is a top lane Galio to play up against the Rumble from Breathe. I really like how IG have navigated this, though. You've got the Rumble, you got the Orianna, and I think this is an easy Nocturne slam now to be able to get that duo with the Ori. It's going to give you a really great setup for the Rumble ultimate. Good stuff for Jwei here to be able to round out round 1 of the draft for IG.
Yeah, I don't know why that Galio, just something told me it was Galio support in my head. Obviously, it's not. It's a great matchup here. Can go either side lane later on. I think early game, though, for Top Esports right now, outside of the Pantheon, they don't really have a lot of potential to set the tempo. Rumble will have push, Orianna will have push, they'll have first move, and Nocturne will be able to go wherever he wants, which is a bit scary for Top Esports draft, especially depending on what the bot lane is. If it's anything volatile, you have Rumble that can be unlocked, whether that's through a TP or just at a Grubs fight, an Orianna who can be unlocked, and a Nocturne who can join the fight, start the fight whenever he wants to. So I'm concerned for Top Esports if their bot lane isn't safe enough. They could go, you know, like Xayah Rakan. It's not too bad. They do have good damage with the Azir now and could keep the Azir alive. Ezreal getting banned away here. So some of these safe 80 carry picks. The Karma getting banned away is a surprise, actually, because we are on 26.7. And Karma and Nami did get nerfed. They're just going to ban the Corki.
Yeah, just still looking to kind of limit some of the same classic options. Obviously, the Karma nerfs were not enough, as the Karma did eat a Phase 1 ban from IG. But yeah, I mean, there's some gentle tap downs on some of the base enchanters that have been kind of conquering the bot lane meta over the last couple of patches. So we'll see how much that affects folks, but clearly, you know, Nami Corki still on people's minds, Ezreal Karma still on people's minds, and we'll have to see where these priorities are going to end up falling. There's a nice early Nautilus ban, potentially hinting at wanting some kind of mobile, difficult to lock down marksman for JiaQi.
All right, well, the Nautilus ban makes Rakan even better, but that could be IG picking the Rakan, taking that option away. Maybe you could go Xayah Rakan for IG. I think that Rakan with Rumble, Orianna is really scary, actually. So the Lulu ban as well makes Rakan better again. So my eyes are fully on this Rakan pickup. I think both teams would like it. It's, you know, it has a bit of a tough time into the Pantheon, or can, but if you're fast enough with it, getting Mako on something like that, this playmaking support could be an option, but we'll have to see what they go with. Seraphine. So opting for the Seraphine Ashe. Zeriyumi. Is it Zeriyumi time?
Oh, it could be. It could be Zeriyumi time. There's plenty of options here. I mean, Yunara plus Slay, whatever engager you fancy is an option here as well. That Yunara is still a really heavily prized pick. Felios kind of fallen off a bit in recent patches. Oh, I know a lot of people who will not be happy with this if this comes on through. And it's locked in. JiaQi Love, first game back. It's Jin, baby.
Well, Jin Bard is a pretty good combo, but it's going to be Ashe Seraphine. I guess there is some decent tank. You know, Galio, Pantheon can eat a lot of that. And you are picking triple immobile squishy against the Bard. So there is a good matchup there. The worry for me is, one, Jin against Nocturne is not fun. Two, Ashe Seraphine as a bot lane is really scary and has, I want to say, seldom found an answer to this bot lane. Like, Zerayumi has been an answer where you can all in at level 6. People have tried Corki Nami, Ezreal Karma, but this bot lane still maintains this strength of, as long as we can ban some things like the Nautilus away, then we're happy to go this Ashe Seraphine lane. And IG, I think they have an amazing draft. They have 3 pushing lanes with a Nocturne, and it doesn't really get that much better in the team fights.
Yeah, and now really looking forward to what we're going to have come out from the early game here from Tien in his first game back. Really like what the Pantheon opens up for you in some of the early jungling. We've seen a lot of really early invades coming on with compositions based around him like this, and definitely with the Azir going to have the ability to try to back him on up as necessary. Classic Orianna Azir matchup. The bans have robbed us of this for so much of the winter split, JBetto, so I'm excited to have it back.
Yeah, a little bit of Azir absence around first stand as well, but after his buffs, feels like he's fully back in his strength. Some massive buffs to the Azir, and yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the Orianna Azir handshake, especially the Orianna that was barely any in first stand. So we'll have to see how it goes, and these players back in the league. We jump onto the Rift for game number 1 of split number 2.
JiaQi Love and Mako bringing the Gyos back with them. Love to be able to hear it. Love that sound in my ears as we get ready to kick off another split of League of Legends here.
I also love that sound. I have been a avid. I always mess it up. It's avid.
Avid is the word, yep.
Fan of the Gyos. I've said that many times. JiaQi Love 300 match days. So he came back on just so that he could get the big 300.
Yeah, very good.
Interesting.
You love saving that for when the season's really heated up, you know? You don't want to...
Yeah.
When you have a nice kickoff game in Group Ascend, you are returning when you can be the main character. That's when it's best to be hitting these sorts of milestones. And already some exchanges of blows in the bottom lane here. The slow onto JiaQi. Fengyue doing his best to return fire, but the health bars looking pretty good for IG so far here. Fourth shot from JiaQi Love could change his fortunes, but not going to be able to find a target for it as they dodge out of the deadly flourish.
Top Esports doing some pretty aggressive trading, trying to win the prio from the Ashe Seraphine, but doesn't end up buying them a whole lot. They have to use, the barrier and heal. Flash out from Fengyue, actually. That's a bit scary. I mean, level 3 is going to get ticked over here fairly soon, probably on this next wave. Mako feels very confident to continue walking forward, and Top Esports might just have to take a base.
Yeah, really nice start here for JiaQi and Mako, getting themselves stronger bot lane, mind controlling the opposing team into picking Jin Bard, and coming on away with that early laning advantage here for the veteran support up against the veteran marksman. JiaQi also, as we talked about earlier, you got replaced here, there's no real other way around it. Probably was a known part of the deal. JiaQi Love's been a part of the team all year long. It was always known that he would come back, but gotta feel good if you're gonna be able to come away with some lane leads and some victories in today's game for him.
I'm assuming, I don't read Chinese, but I'm assuming that was the fan prediction. 75% IG. That's a lot of IG bias here. I know that we were talking about the the Chinese casters voting for Top Esports 2-1, but I feel like 2-1 is closer than 75% chance to win. So the fans obviously much more in favor of IG, although that might be some team bias.
It might also be post-draft. I mean, I do think IG come away from draft feeling pretty darn good about themselves. Nocturne Oriana plus Rumble, so good. Really like the Ashe Seraphine duo, especially in a matchup like this. I think they've got themselves pretty nifty composition going here, unless that Azir really is as broken as it has been in patches past, and truly is still deserving of those bans that he's become all too accustomed to. We'll find out here, but here's TN making his way on through. Magical Journey, flash away from Mako, too little, too late, and first blood goes to TN.
Welcome back to the league, everybody. Mako catches a death, and TN gets a first blood. That's a pretty good way to start your season with a really nice Magical Journey from Fengyue. Good synergy, good early activity from this Pantheon. Because I was concerned that due to the lanes, it was going to be very hard for Top Esports to find these ins, but the bot lane has been a bit contentious in terms of the push. I had assumed it was going to be a lot more favored towards the Ashe Seraphine, but Top Esports playing it pretty well.
Yeah, really good start there for them to be able to kind of salvage what was a rough early start bottom lane. Now find themselves pretty much even in CS. That is a recall interrupt on a JiaQi Love, so he's not going to love that part, but getting that first blood on a Mako, plenty good here. Not respecting the potential of the Magical Journey, and good move from TN to get his way down here. But now, back in the 2-on-2, things may get a little rougher for JiaQi Love and Fengyue once again. JiaQi stepping up, dodging out on the Deadly Flourish. Here's the fear from Jwei, and JiaQi will even the odds and get his first kill of the game. Creme looking for a shuffle onto Renard, will not be able to find it. Gets himself shockwaved right back, and even though TN is waiting in the wings, Renard really willing to keep this trade going after having dodged out on the Emperor's Divide.
All right, we'll lose his flash. That is a bit scary as TN is just around the corner, but Renard should be able to path to his team. Really nice kill back, sorry, to the bot lane of IG this time. JiaQi gets the kill, so that will result in a pretty decent lead for this Ashe. And when the level 5s tick over, JiaQi Love no cleanse. That will opt for more angles that IG can look for all-ins on the bot lane. But Renard no flash is a bit scary, you know, Pantheon with the ult, obviously Creme when his shuffle gets back up, but it hasn't resulted in a whole lot, you know, no real massive explosion of gold, no dragon take, just that flash in the mid lane and the kill earlier. And I will say, the bot lane summoner spells are looking pretty dire.
They are. Going to be very few flashes to go around. Only Fengyue has that one for the time being. Jwei sees TN trying to steal away his blue buff, and TN will successfully secure it. Ticks over to level 6 while he's at it, so Jwei now going to be at a little bit of a level disadvantage. Should be able to catch up with another camp or two.
All right. Let's take a quick input here. My eyes are on this next scuttle. Although, Jwei has just hit level 6, so is Tian. Both globals pathing bot.
Yeah, JiaQi and Mako kind of up way too deep in the river here and pretty much nowhere to go. Tian going to pick up his second of the game. Mako's making a beeline towards the mid lane, but he's just going to find himself face-to-face with Creme. 4 members up against the level 5 Seraphine should have no problem closing this one out, and they're even going to get to donate that kill to Creme. Top Esports move up by 2 kills, clean themselves up a little bit of bonus gold.
I think both teams there are eyeing the same idea. Both hit level 6, and then they're going for the play down in bot lane, but IG just slightly slower. They overstep, and Tian is there first. Like you said, kill given over to Creme, but still the gold has maintained fairly even. Mostly this lead for Tian, small lead for JiaQi, but no dragons taken, no, you know, massive plates taken. Shockwave on the wave to allow Renard to base with his TP, but still these teams opting to play this early game quite slow, Gordo.
Yeah, definitely. Let's find out what these Nocturne ultimates are going to end up looking like. That's really where Jwei is going to need to make his impact felt, especially with Tian already off to the races on the early powerful Pantheon. Jwei gets 1-2 grubbies, so we'll have the overall grub advantage for IG, but not going to get all three. One of these is definitely going Tian's way.
Yep. And let's see how valuable the grubs are in this game. I mean, Azir, probably the biggest benefactor of these grubs. This Fengyue takes a portal down bot.
JiaQi now probably up 2 feet once again. Going to be a cosmic bound up against the wall. JiaQi opens up the curtain call. JiaQi trying to get away. Gets cut off. Mako flashes in to intercept the last couple shots and keep JiaQi alive. It looks like that might be enough to get this Ashe out of here. Jwei pathing towards the bottom, can at least pick up the scuttle and could maybe even threaten onto this top esports bot lane if they try to chase too far.
Yeah, not the best tempered fate there. I think if that was a little bit better placed, you could have forced JiaQi's flash at least, but Mako will flash to block the curtain call. There is a jungler in a sneaky brush here. The taunt will not hit, but Tian is still remaining if Breathe does overstep. Dragon still hasn't been taken, Gordo. I mean, we spoke a lot about this year about how strong Dragon stacking was. So far, neither team really feels confident or comfortable enough to fully pull the trigger on this Dragon.
No, nobody really wanting to be the first ones to get that objective started. Been a lot of back and forth of the bot lane so far, but nobody pulling ahead enough to feel like they can really take that objective. IG do have the 1 grub lead, but that's the only thing to really speak of at this stage 10 minutes in. Tian feeling very strong, though, 2-0 on this Pantheon. If he could find a way to get 1 more kill, maybe going to feel comfortable starting that one up off against Jwei.
Not having a fun time in this matchup is Tian. We'll be able to get the phase rush and get away. Both junglers coming out bot side pretty consistently, looking to see if there's an angle for their ults, and then instead going back to their full clear. Looks like Jwei is taking a base here. Top esports do have priority around this Dragon, around bot as well, with the position of their jungler. Azir able to get a push out as well and roam down. So this looks like it will be pretty easy Dragon taken by Top esports. The first of the series, the first of Split 2. Feels good to be back. Vision here from Top esports. I mean, Jwei could send it, but he would be sacrificing himself. So instead, it's just going to be the Dragon taken by Top esports.
Yep, nice secure there for Top as they get their first objective of the game, and so far been calm and controlled from their end, building up some of that early lead, but not enough for them to have a real big lead across the map. JiaQi does still find himself behind in gold. The bullying of the Ashe Seraphine lane still plenty to deal with for the Jhin. He did not pick up any of the kill credit for Tian's efforts in that lane, so he's been just fine to clean up that gold for himself, and so far doesn't find himself at too big of an item advantage for it. He's going to try to steal away some camps while he knows Jwei is on the bottom side of the map. Will Jwei be able to make much happen here, though? Looks like it's just going to be a bit of vision cleared out, but Fengyue and JiaQi left plenty safe underneath their turret.
I mean, one of the reasons why these global junglers, semi-global I guess you could say, have been getting more and more priority is, one, because their base kits are very strong, like Pantheon with a guaranteed stun. But when these Dragons go down, with Atakan gone, with the plates the way they are, with the crystalline overgrowth, the no feats of strength, and the focus on quests, there's not a ton to do, and the global champions, especially when we start side laning more, really affect that a lot. So instead of picking something like a Sejuani where you can teamfight really well, but maybe the side lane access isn't as great as something like a Pantheon or a Nocturne, when you have these champions in the game, when you have a Ryze, when you have an Ashe, you can look for catches like this. If that had hit, Fengyue might have been dead. So the problem, though, is that Jwei hasn't really been active at all. Like, if we could pull up damage stats, this Nocturne would have probably 1,000 damage, maybe less. He chased down one person, hasn't really done anything, and that's not necessarily a fault of Jwei. It is kind of a product of the game, but these globals need to start getting value if we want to be happy about this Nocturne pick.
And here's one of them right now. JiaQi going to be able to flash away in time to be able to get himself away. There's going to be Tempered Fate. Really good job to immune the Encore, but it might not be enough to save JiaQi's life as Jwei will finally be able to take him down. Now Jwei cut off from the rest of the team. Should be finished off here, and Creme will claim that kill.
Yeah, well, there's basically exactly what I was talking about. But Tien can do the same thing back if Magical Journey, but should be okay here. Nice little stun there from Fengyue. But you can see that Jwei does make a play, and that's the time that I'm talking about. When nothing's happening, there's nothing to take on the map. These globals allow you to do that onto a side lane. The problem is Fengyue with this Tempered Fate does so much work buying time. The Encore actually misses from Seraphine. So, I mean, Mako times it well, but pardon me. The Tempered Fate going golden bought just enough time for Tien and Creme to rotate down and make it a 1-for-1.
Yeah, it's been a really solid performance from Fengyue so far in this game, number one. Doing a good job to set up Tien for these ganks. Doing a good job of nullifying the potential Encore plays coming on through. Here's an Enchanted Crystal Arrow, though, finding its way onto JiaQi. Gonna be stunned for a while, and we know this man has no flash. Renard gonna look to punish, flashes onto his face, and will claim the kill.
I mean, that's just a really unfortunate base from JiaQi. Just a ward in the bush. Not much he can do about that, but well played. I mean, again, another result of these global ults. Not the same, I guess, but still does find a pick. Kind of allows you to cheat tempo a little bit, you know, when one side thinks they're safe. Let's see, what can Tien do here? Little cheeky smite.
He can steal the ground.
That does feel pretty bad. I mean, the CS lead is building, XP lead as well. He's a full level up. So in the 1v1, this is pretty scary. Herald will be started up, but I think that IG are more than happy to give this away. Set up for the Dragon in 40 seconds. That's if Top Esports want to do this. It looks like that they don't even necessarily know if they want to pull this. Will end up being the Herald take regardless, but I think 30 seconds on this Dragon is a pretty important timer for IG.
Yeah, 30 seconds on the Dragon, like you said. No Shockwave available, so Renard
or
and
Flash.
Jwei can't pull off the combo here, but they are going to step up anyway. There's Paranoia. It's right on top of JiaQi. This guy cannot catch a break as Jwei going to claim the kill nice and early. Ooh. Creme comes over the wall. It's a beautiful Encore on through Fengyue and Creme, and IG are just going to clean house off the back of that one. Down goes Jwei, and they will clean up the fight.
Not only was it a great ult from Jwei, but the position from Breathe around the back was perfect too. Then the ult from Mako was on top of everything. It was just a really well played. So this is where the flash from JiaQi was burnt, but no Tempered Fate means that JiaQi is a prime target now. So the Paranoia gets used right onto Jwei's head. Breathe is around the back to stop him. He TP's up directly from the mid wave. And then the Seraphine ult lands on top as well. There's just too much damage, but mostly that team fight so well executed off of a tiny mistake from Fengyue.
Yeah, really clean execution there from IG, and they find themselves everything that they could have wanted and more. They get themselves the Rift Herald, they get themselves not the Dragon actually off the back. Looks like they opted to go for the reset and redeploy instead, so that Dragon going to continue to stand. But they also got themselves the gold lead and then some, about 3K in IG's favor now.
Well, the Dragon's up. And Herald was taken by IG, so they can use that either for the fight or to try to get a tower. But it looks like Top Esports want to take this top tower, or maybe to dive onto Renard, who has no flash. But you know, IG aware of that. They do a bit of covering. They're really scared about losing this top tower. IG do not want to lose their mid laner, do not want to lose their top tower. They don't really care about Dragons this game so far. They are much more concerned with the map position, making sure that their side lanes aren't at risk, protecting for this dive, and they do that really well, hovering with Jwei, who has his Paranoia back up, as, you know, Fengyue did have the Tempered Fate back up, so he could use it to immune the tower, catch Renard, who still has no flash, and now it looks like IG might be starting to path down to the Dragon to get their first of the game.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they should have too much trouble securing this. He ends up on the top side of the map. Would be a lot of cooldowns to be able to get on down here. Creme with no TP, also stuck up here. Renard would be able to join with that if need be, and showing a lot of respect here to the potential ganking power of the Pantheon. Backing on away, keeping some distance from Creme himself. And now just going to TP in towards the bottom side. It looks like they're going to try to make a trade of turrets. Here comes the Enchanted Crystallero, interrupts the TP from Jwei, and they will look to chase him down. He flashes, but Mako comes in as the fourth piece of the puzzle, cutting off the Galio, claiming the kill. Dragon goes to IG, and they're going to equalize the turrets as well.
That was a really well-played macro sequence by IG. There's a ward just near the Baron pit that saw Tien entering topside, so Renard able to take a base there, and then TP's directly to bot with the arrow coming in, hits Jwei, and then Mako is positioned around the back of the tower. Really well played from IG. They also get the second Drake, the first for them of the game. And they get out completely for free. Tien ults, but no one is here.
Yeah, nothing to be accomplished there. And so we'll be pushed on away without too much to say about it. All in all, really good play from IG, and not an effective response from TES. They get 4 plates on the inner in the bottom lane as well. That's tons of gold into their pockets as they find themselves up 4K now.
I'm actually really impressed with how IG's been playing. They haven't really needed to use this side lane, you know, with Nocturne and maybe onto the Galley. They haven't really done that a ton. They're more focused on, let's just play our lanes, we'll farm, we'll rock up to objectives, and we're going to team fight better than you. We're going to set up better than you. We're going to make smarter macro decisions than you. And I feel like Tien has been really trying to make his impact felt, and he has done so. You know, had the gold lead for top esports for a while. Now that's gone a little bit back in favor of Jwei, but you know, only slightly. But that hasn't really resulted in big leads for top esports or any one fights. You know, the Dragons are now even, and 3.7k for IG is a pretty sizable lead, mostly on this Ashe. So as long as JiaQi can play well, he's looking to take it to his old team.
Yeah. Oh, JiaQi so
careful.
far doing very well. Now going to see what they can do about this top river, where the Scuttler is being heavily prioritized by TES, and Renard going to immediately regret his decision. It's coming from the top side, but that is a nice connection off the back of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Will be the full ulti combo. So that's Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Paranoia, and Shockwave all used onto Tien, and he walks away with half HP.
IG still with the front foot here, but they've got to be careful. They don't have these aggressive ults like you mentioned. They don't have Renard Flash, and Fengyue still has his ult. Creme has his and Flash available. Tien's ult is coming off cooldown right now. So even though IG had that front foot, now TES have the advantage, where they're able to make a play however they feel. Again, the impact of these globals. You know, the game feels a little stale. You aren't able to break open anything. With these global ults, you can do that by cheating the tempo, allowing you to get on to enemy members, start the team fight early. But top esports with their advantage, they opt to just go back to base, spend some of their gold, regroup, farm their camps, and push their waves out.
Yeah. So I know we don't like to talk about builds too much, JBetto.
I have a feeling I know exactly what you're going to talk about.
Is it going to be about the Hexoptics first Jin into the rapid fire cannon? Yeah, this I can't ignore it any longer. I don't. I have not seen this before.
There have been... People have a lot of feelings about Jin builds, you know, the Mosquito Jin builds, and what Jin build is the correct one. This is another attempt at, does this Jin build do damage at 2 items? We will have to see. What we've seen, Shiv Rapid Fire Cannon. I know people were really not a fan of that. Some people were building Collector, but, I mean, that really falls off. Storm Razor was, you know, an IE and Rapid Fire Cannon, and this is an attempt. Hex Optics, which has been buffed a lot, right, really wants you to build this item. And Rapid Fire Cannon for a bit of that range.
Oh, great dodge from Renard there, as he does manage to get his way out of the Tempered Fate. Looked like barely on the edge of it there. Fengyue trying to chase forward for a little bit more. Going to get punished. Great cleanse. Going to get him away from the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Now it's JiaQi Love finding the cutoff onto JiaQi. He's going to have to fall back with the heal. Fengyue's on top of him. Finds the stun. Big flash encore into the shockwave onto 2. And IG going to claim a 2-for-1 to start off the fight. Now Tian diving forward onto Renard. Will finish him off. It's a 2-for-2 now. Breathe coming in from the top side flank, but taking a lot of damage from Jwei and Creme for his efforts. Tian jumps on top of Jwei. Jwei going to be able to back away. Breathe now responsible for most of the damage in this team fight, and he just can't hang with the consistent output from Creme. That's a 2-for-2 fight, but Top Esports walk away with the better health bars.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, but they are able to maintain their position on the map because of the health bars. The Top Esports are able to get a position around the dragon, maybe catch out Jwei here, but
over the wall, Zuyan really wants this play, but he can't find the taunt.
And Tian was ulting in, so very nice try, but that'll push Jwei out. I mean, that fight, a lot of it comes down to JiaQi getting caught by the engage from Top Esports, mostly the Galio ult as well. Actually, the dragon wasn't taken. They spent too much time on that chase, so now the TPs are in. Jwei has healed up off camps a little bit, and IG now on the front foot.
Love how fast IG is willing to lick their wounds, recover, get back out here, and start taking objectives. They will be able to claim this. It's a TP up top from Creme as they're going to look to try to pressure on the top tower.
So this arrow, really nice Captain Jack from Fengyue. As it's JiaQi Love who finds JiaQi kind of wandering. And a beautiful stun there with the CC layered by the Galio. So Fengyue finding a really, really nice stun into the wall. Catches JiaQi through his flash as well. And that's really what starts that engage off. Renard also getting caught. Arrow goes wide there a little bit, but it's still a gold lead, still a dragon lead. So even after all that, Top Esports weren't able to convert that into a meaningful advantage on the map.
Now they do cut into the gold lead pretty sizably there, and you know, that's about as bad of a fight as you can take as IG. So much of their lead is in JiaQi, and he just doesn't get to DPS very much at all, as he is so much the focus of everything that goes on to kick that up. Really valiant effort from NaiYou, really nice flash combo, but there's a nice and easy one as Renard and Jwei combine ultimates and absolutely delete Fengyue, the mid-inner turret soon to follow.
I think that Renard and Jwei said, I don't like that Bard guy. What he just did to us with the stun, we kill him now. And they did. He got absolutely one-shot and require, you know, some fixing of
a ninth new player to enter the Rift for today's game. All right, we're back. We're back.
See, this is the problem is that we don't get to know what it was because we're not the official stream. Pantheon ult, Mako, what are you doing here?
Oh no, the pause, it's gotten to him. He got bored, and he has suffered the punishment for it.
Pause again, hold on. My support just died. What happened?
Support's mouse is disconnected. Could this be Baron? TES.
Renard's pretty low mana.
Posing up for it, yeah. Renard's got about half, but Breathe now gonna get stunned up against the wall. There's the Tempered Fate, gonna connect on a JiaQi. Really nice placement of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, though, going to stop him from getting chased too far. And it does look like they're going to have enough time for Mako to come back up. They're going to lose this Scuttle Crab, but perhaps not much else. Good position for Zuyan, though. He does want to try to get his way in there and threaten a big taunt. Does look like TES are going to have to retreat, though, as Mako respawns.
My concern is, what would that fight have looked like if Mako was still alive with ult up and was able to cleanse JiaQi from anything negative? That is a bit scary. I will say, we were talking about builds a bit earlier. This isn't necessarily like a take on the actual build, because it is a great build, but like it just looks really goofy to me to see Ludens directly into Void Staff for Renard. It makes a ton of sense, but it does look a bit funny. Yeah,
it's a little buffed over recent patches, so I don't hate the Ludens. Yeah, the Void Staff second does hurt my feelings a little bit. I would hope that you know, some future patches can try to sort that out. That should be some anti-tank stuff. Although there is a Galio facing down the other side of the rift.
He's building full purple too. It's pretty aesthetically pleasing.
It's a little appealing in that way. I can't deny that.
That is good. But, I mean, Flash is coming back up off cooldown now. Jwei and JiaQi pretty close. Fengyue maybe mistimed the Flash timer and was trying to get JiaQi's Flash there because no one was able to follow up on that Tempered Fate. So it was a little bit out of nowhere. But it ends up just being a pick on the Mako and nothing else. Dragon in a minute's time would be sole point for IG. For top esports, they've been making these side lane plays like through the early game, but now I haven't really seen a Grand Starfall find a target. Creme on this Azir hasn't really been able to get alone with any towers, do any meaningful damage, get a gold lead. So it's mostly just JiaQi with this gold lead and Tian with his gold lead. Mako?
Don't find anything here. Does not end up face checking. Plays it out reasonably and safely. JiaQi still holding down the mid lane here, and this Baron is certainly being danced around. 30 seconds to go on Dragon number 4. This would be sole point for IG. They are able to secure it for themselves. They do not want to give up too much control around this Baron either. Still not a super fast Baron from TES. They do have the Azir, but they also have Jin.
Yeah, Jin would love to have this IE finish, but it looks like that's not going to be a possibility. So JackieLove is sitting in his first game back, 0-5.
Ooh, Enchanted Crusader finds his way out of Creme, going to get cleansed away. There's an Equalizer, going to interrupt Tian's recall without even maybe meaning to, but
yeah,
an accomplishment nonetheless, and that's going to be their signal to make a beeline towards the bottom side and get on towards this Dragon. Tian will have the Grand Starfall to be able to come over and rejoin if TES want to try to contest this.
Well, TP back in from Renard to the mid lane, and they do still have that combo. Rabadon's picked up for Renard. That's a massive purchase around this Dragon.
Looking for their potential entryway. Only Enchanted Crystal Arrow and Equalizer used in that last fight, so Paranoia Shockwave combo going to come on through. It's a flash backward from Renard, and there's going to be a potential taunt found by the Galio. There's the combo, forces out the stasis, doesn't actually get onto anybody, but beautiful timing on the Encore. Will hold down Creme and pick Renard up, the first kill of the fight. Now JiaQi chased down by the front line, able to stay alive, able to kite it out, able to fire away. Tian going to finally make the trade happen, but it's going to cost him all of his teammates and himself. JackieLove, the last one standing, as the 0-5 Jin as IG take the fight.
Fengyue gets the flashes out of the backline with his ult. So IG, now at risk of Creme going in, immediately engage onto the Azir. He didn't shuffle. He didn't even flash. The Zhonya's was used. But this Azir never got to play the team fight. What a team fight from IG as they will march forward, take down JackieLove 0-6 in his first game back, and game 1 to IG.
That's a rough one. Fengyue going to be able to pick up a kill, though. This guy won't be going 0 kills. Will be going 5 deaths, though, as he falls down to end out the game. IG take the lead in game number 1 of the new split. Really well played by them there, and I want to highlight Mako again for that last fight. This guy's timings on the Encore are insane. Perfectly layered to nab Creme as soon as he comes out of that stasis, and that wins up the fight.
Yeah, I mean, you're hoping that one of these teams, bringing in all these new members, is going to hit a honeymoon period, and that was a really well-played game from IG. It is only game 1, but I think that the team comp was really, really strong, very scary. We were talking about that from minute 1. But yeah, Mako and their Seraphine got caught that one time that didn't really result in anything, but those ults were so well placed the whole game.
Yeah, really, really good stuff there. And, you know, they get the combo together just a couple of times, and that's about all it takes. The Galio doesn't do enough to hold down the Rumble. He's able to come through with plenty of damage, and all in all, really strong performance to kick things off from this new IG squad. And Renard still looks good, man. He's playing up against, you know, third-team All-Pro mid laner Creme from last split, and he looks good. I think at a certain point, you know, this guy's certainly getting himself some looks. He's still obviously rookie's understudy for the time being, but keep an eye on this guy going into future splits because he looks great every time he comes out here.
Yeah. Looks comfortable, happy to, you know, play aggressive, use his flash aggressively to, you know, get out of an ability to then fight afterwards. Very well played from Renard. I think, though, that this is, and I don't want to be biased to old players, but this is, for me, maybe, a support MVP.
Yeah, I mean, okay, listen, dude, I'm so happy to have Mako back. All right, it's like he never left. He looks awesome.
Yeah.
That was such a great Seraphine game from him. Not even a pick that I really associate with Mako, frankly. He's, you know, a little bit more of a engaged guy in my heart, thinking back to the World Championship he won and the titles he's won. But really, really good stuff from him this game. And yeah, I mean, the flashes to reposition the encores were so critical and so important. The timing on the encores to be able to snag targets won them some very critical fights. Great placement in other fights where, you know, fancy stuff wasn't necessary. Really well played. And good laning as well. They were able to take the lead from the laning phase and carry it through.
We were talking about it in draft. Not a really big fan of the Jhin. And while it's very easy to say, haha, JiaQi loves 0-6, 8k damage is a pretty bad. But I really feel like that this is more of a pick thing.
Yeah.
He can't really do anything against this comp. He gets completely one-shot by every single member. And yeah, I don't really love the Jhin Bard. We're talking about this in draft into the Ashe Seraphine. I think that there are other options. Some of those banned away. The Corki, maybe not comfortable on the, Zeri Yuumi, but still, you have to be prepared to bring something more comfortable out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, practice positive mental imaging, right? Stop saying JiaQi Love played badly and start saying Jhin was a bad pick. Right? I don't.
Yes.
Listen, I'm gonna be saying Jhin is a bad pick for a long time. I'm tired of this. This champion's like sub 40% win rate globally right now. I think, isn't it? It's doing very poorly in the current meta, and
that wouldn't surprise me.
I don't think the Hex Optics first build is doing it any favors.
No, definitely not. I think that that's a big part of it. He doesn't really have a great build that feels awesome against certain comps. Against the Nocturne as well, I have no idea why the Jhin is getting picked. It is so hard. Again, something we spoke about in draft. It's a really good matchup for Nocturne. Even if you can't get on top of him, you press R, Jhin ult doesn't work anymore. Jhin W doesn't really work anymore either. So I really don't understand this pick from Top Esports and JiaQi Love together.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better...
This is not his fault.
I know, you couldn't ask for a better clip montage for what we're talking about, by the way. Literally, like, the last 3 clips in a row have just been Jwei clicking the R button twice on JiaQi Love's head and JiaQi Love dying. Like, what else? What is he going to do? What's anyone in the world going to do other than not pick Jhin? So.
Is that tier 1? Elk, 39% win rate? That is horrible.
There we go. Thank you very much, Ulk, for the quick citation. Yeah, it's a 39% win rate for Jhin. I think that's probably tier 1. Although,
yep,
tier 1. Is that that's across the whole year? So that's not even.
Ouch.
That's like 100 games. That's a pretty sizable sample size. When we get here, I do want to call out Mako's really well-timed ult in this team fight. By the way,
this is a great team fight. So the flash has been burnt. IG recognized that Creme is the scary part. They forced the Zhonya's out of Creme. Yeah, what a timing from Mako. And it is easy to say, well, he just hit a good timing. No. How many times have you seen Creme has flash, Creme has ult, he can still play that fight. He has dash even if the timing is that off. Really well played from Mako in that fight. Great adaptation from IG.
It's got to be perfect.
I like
to
to
be
see
over him
coaches.
as he comes out. Yeah.
It's got to be Mako here. MVP, that's my vote. If we had votes, maybe we can draw them in at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm on board for that. I mean, I just don't know who else you'd pick here. I guess if you're...
Jwei had a good game. I think Jwei had a good game.
Jwei had a good game. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you would pick Jwei if you're if you really like to see the kill feed and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm a big Seraphine fan this game. I guess you could also, I don't know, JiaQi had a couple of good plays in there.
I think all of them played pretty well, to be honest. Like, you could... Breathe did really well. Like, the 1v1 was whatever, but play these team fights really, really well.
Renard.
Is this...
It's got a good KDA.
Is this a mid laner good KDA gets Pog?
Yeah. Yeah,
or is this a real Pog? He played really well. I don't want to take it away from him. He played really well.
Yeah,
the laning was fine, but yeah, I'm not going to take anything away from him. Good job for Renard. Good job, IG. Well played.
Yeah, I mean, either way, we were just talking about how good this guy's been, so I'm not going to have any beef with him for winning a little MVP where everybody plays well. You know, throw the man a bone here and there. But that said, we're going to have game number 2 coming up before too long. We're going to throw it to a quick break, but first things first, if you want to support LPL English, consider becoming a coffee member. Coffee is the best way to support the LPL English project because the majority of your contributions go directly to the show. Initial investments go into upgrading the broadcast, but the rest will go towards paying the talent, paying the production, paying the staff, all across the board. And it definitely gives you access to some additional content as well. Be able to get in there, get some access to the podcast early, get some access to on-site interviews when we're able to have them. It's a party, and you are invited if you want to come to contribute over to the coffee. So thank you very much for all those who already support us. Encouragement to those who are thinking about it. We're going to throw it to a quick break. We'll be back for game number 2 before too long.